Let's talk about the remote work honeymoon. What do I mean by that? Well, we all know what happened during COVID. Everyone was asked to start working from home. And when people were first asked, boy, let me tell you, it was a special time. We had so many people who got into it and got excited and said, yes, I want to work from home forever. So they did their job really well. And they did everything they needed to do. I mean, they even did more than they would do in a normal workday just because they were trying to make sure they wouldn't lose that eat from home and work from home ticket, which was absolutely outstanding. However, as a very powerful executive who may govern Tesla, SpaceX, and X once said, that honeymoon period has ended. And what he meant by that is people are starting to take for granted what it means to work from home. If they have an appointment, they go take care of it. If they need to walk the dog, they do that. If they need to run to the grocery store, that's fine. Need to go pick up some food? I got it. It's just the things that they're doing, not anything wrong, right? It's just now when you give them a 2 hour task, that 2 hour test takes 8, 10, 12 hours because they break it up into small chunks because they believe that if they're working from home, they should have the freedom to do that. But then at the same time, what ends up happening is that thing that's supposed to take an hour ends up taking all day, and then the person complains they spend way too many time in meetings, way too much time in meetings because the work's not getting done. I think you see what's happening here. It turns into like the snowball effect, right? Where one thing causes the next, causes the next. So how do we get to the point where we can make remote work work? I know it sounds like a crazy title, but how do we get to that point, right? And I think part of it has to do with our attitude. It's if you get into the mode of I'm never going to work in an office again, or my company told me that we're never going to go back to work, or we sold our buildings. I heard that one recently, right? Um, I've been working and I've been teaching and I've been certifying in a 90 to 100% remote environment now for a number of years. And what I can tell you is that the same challenges that existed before COVID are the same challenges that exist now when people do remote work. It hasn't changed. It changed for a short time, but then it changed right back. Let's start with the number one change, or the number one thing that happened. Many people want or crave human interaction. If some people are completely extrovert and they miss that intersection of how was your day, and then there's other people who, thank goodness, I never have to talk to another person again. I mean, these are the people who are at work, and the only thing they knew about their peers is what color shoelaces they wore, because they're constantly looking down at the ground instead of looking at people in the eye. I guess what I'm trying to say is just to chat moments, the water cooler talk, the hey, how are you? All that went away when we started working remotely, unless, of course, you had other people who worked at your company that happened to live nearby and you went and spent time with them. It happened, but not for many people. Another thing is some people just need more structure when working remotely, period. And others, they don't. They work better without the structure. So now, instead of being able to balance when you're at work and saying, okay, I don't need to carefully critique and be around for every single thing this person does, but I do for this person, it makes it harder when you're remote because then either everybody feels like they're being micromanaged or everybody feels like you're not paying enough attention. It's hard to press that delicate balance button. And I think that if you're not sure about the level of structure that someone needs, or if you're miscalculating or misjudging, it could cause it to take that much longer to build a product or service, right? How about this one? Uh, Many people tell me that they don't mind working on a remote team, but they feel like they become invisible when they do. Nobody ever asks their opinion. They're never challenged to work on hard stuff. So, I mean, they're literally sitting in the back room of an office somewhere collecting a paycheck when they're not adding much value at all to what you're doing. And I just think that that's a great missed opportunity or a great unfortune because we need to make sure that everyone has an equal voice, and we want to make sure people don't feel like they're just drifting away into the sunset. Even if they are getting paid for it, we want to make sure that they are contributing and that they're adding value to what we're trying to do. And I think each one of these can be addressed, right? So when it comes to human connections, you need to make sure that you're trying to get people to understand better the why behind the what, right? And I think that that's the easiest way to explain it. So I'm gonna give it a nickname here, and I think the nickname's funny. And I read it somewhere before. I wish I remember where, but I'm gonna call it "Embracing the Meeting Mullet." I know, mullets. Go figure. If anyone here is qualified to talk about mullets, it's probably me. Yes, I had one back in 1989 and 90. But the mullet has been an unsung hero in the hairstyling world for many years. But few people know about its utility as a way to structure meetings. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the mullet often is referred to with business in the front, party in the back. What this means for our human connections is simple. We handle all the business part of our meeting first, and then we can use whatever time we have remaining to stay on lesser focused topics where people are welcome to leave if they need to. Once all the business is conducted, then you can start talking about what's going on around the water cooler and the party in the back, right? And I think that if you create this type of atmosphere, it's going to help you to have better conversations around what you're trying to do. What about keeping people from becoming invisible? I mean, that sounds interesting. It sounds dreaded to me, right? I don't want to, be left behind, but I also don't want to be the person who's always on your dashboard, who's not doing anything to contribute to the value of the project. So it's one of those things where if I'm going to contribute or add value, we need to make sure that we're including strong meeting agendas, that we're letting this person know where they're contributing value. And if not, we're encouraging them to find a place where they can contribute value. Let this person engage, or let them do peer reviews with someone else who can help them engage. Because I think in the end, that's going to help them really get to where they need to be. But I think the bigger question is, what are the symptoms that are happening? And have you or your Agile coach addressed those symptoms? Because there should never be a place where someone feels like they're spinning their wheels and just not getting the job done. That's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at AgileDad.com. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.